Just the accomplishment of riding 3,000 miles in 12 days, not too many people can do that in this world, and you are one of the few, and congratulations once again. It's just an incredible feat that you accomplished, and do it again sometime. What do you think?
Well,
congratulations.
Thank you. Again, it's to everybody. It's not to me. But if I could twist this around a little bit, let me ask you a question. Would you like to ride your bike from the coast up the coastal mountains and be able to say, man, the street that Tom Cruise was on when they filmed Top Gun, and I just rode up this series of mountains, and I'm looking back towards the ocean, and all you see is clouds. You're up above it. Who would like to do that? I mean, isn't that cool? And then, literally an hour later, have descended 10 miles down into a furnace. I mean, literally 124 degrees. I mean, that's not an experience that I'm going to get to have tomorrow. I mean, would you do that? Would you go another 3 hours? Tell me this. Would you ride another 14 hours to see the sunset in Monument Valley?
Did you get that picture, by the way? That picture of him with the Monument Valley in the background?
That particular one.
We got it.
We got there at dusk, and so we couldn't turn around and look.
It's ingrained in our brains. I'm telling you. It's
one of the most spectacular sights in the country.
And what's going through my brain? Ride faster, get them over the hill so they can see the other side. It's just as beautiful in Utah. I want them to see that. Would you keep riding another 24 hours so that you could find a remote place in Colorado where you're riding freaking gravel roads as the sun comes up? In Adam's favorite place out there by Cortez? Would you do that? I mean, is that an adventure? And is that something that excites you? Would you keep going to where you realize you now got a team that is doing anything to keep the train going? I mean, when you have a teammate look you in the eye and says, there is nothing we can't do, and it's not motivation, it's not some rah-rah speech, it's not what you want to be, it's just a statement of fact. Would you ride another 24 hours for that? And then when it starts to cool off and you're doing the mountain climbs, would you climb the Continental Divide for an hour and a half with the crew right beside you talking through the window with a frickin' full moon, deer running to the side, laughing your butts off? Would you ride another 24 hours to do that? Would you ride another 12 hours to find yourself in Levita, in Cockeris Pass, the place that you've never been in Colorado that is just absolutely pristine and nobody seems to go there, and then go through the Spanish Peaks? And I wish Adam would have been there, because I know he'd had that camera out the side. He always knows how to motivate me, and he would have been loving it. These guys are just, they're doing their thing. And would you ride another 24 hours so that you could just realize you're hoarse from singing so much and just loving it? I mean, how many times can you hear the story about Howland Road and how it's been one way, and you chose to let it go, and you chose to keep going, and it gets better? And that if you believe, I believe. Would you go another 24 hours to have that impregnated in your brain forever? And would you go another 24 hours so that the next climb, when it's getting cold, you got a guy that says he's introverted, that says he's quiet? Would you go 24 hours to see a guy wrap his arms around you when you're starting to get goosebumps when you're off the bike because he wants to keep you hot? It's a little bit awkward. A little bit awkward, but would you go 24 hours more to realize that's what you're doing? That it's all in. It is all in. There is nothing you can't do. And would you go another 24 hours to ride into Parkersburg, West Virginia, where you got this amazing S-curve to go across the Ohio River, and the second bridge is just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's kind of like our downtown bridge they built now with the big cables up there, and you gain an elevation. Would you do that? And how far would you dig to really find out that the word clear is different than protected? Because it matters. When you're in West Virginia, there's debris on the road, there's semis everywhere, and somebody says protected, you just go. You just keep riding. When they say clear, it was different. Protected meant something. And how far would you dig? How far would you dig to have that conversation with your crew where you ask them, how do you know God's will? And how do you maintain alignment with that? And all four of you share your life stories, the good and the bad, the challenges and the successes, freely, openly. How far would you dig to have that moment? Because that moment was Raam for me. That's what you keep digging for. And how far would you dig to go to Gettysburg, and just so I can remember the Titans, where the morning's coming and the fog's lifting, and all you see is the monuments. We were there. We did that. The same scene, the same everything. Would you dig that deep? And then when you got nothing left, and it's raining, we bought scuba gear, some freaking water gear to try and keep me warm. And we bought these water pants. You don't ride bike with that stuff. But that's what we needed. That's what was available. That's what we bought. Where the heck were we? Grafton, West Virginia or Maryland or some damn place? And the guy's like, this is what we got. He was supposed to have a race with 1,000 racers. He had to cancel it because of the weather. And they're like, dude, here, what can we help you with? And we get on the bike and we go. When we pulled off that wetsuit thing, I was literally steaming. It was just I'm like, I gotta get this thing off. I'm dying here. But you keep going because you keep finding what it is that it takes. And how far would you go to take that hit the third time and go down on the road one more time and have your crew be absolutely silent and have that realization, you kick the bike off and you just go, this is not a game, this is my life. And everybody knows it. It's right there. It's your life on the line. And for some stupid reason, you get back on that bike and you go. How far would you dig for that? Because that's ultra riding. That's what you do. And you keep going. And then you get the satisfaction at the end, where you get to celebrate. When you actually start to realize maybe this thing's going to happen. Would you dig that far? To have lifelong friends? I mean, these guys, they're brothers at arms with me. I know what it's like now to be military. To risk your life, to put your life in harm's way. Because we did. How far would you dig for that? How far would you dig to have your family surprise you and show up at the finish line? How far would you dig? So we want to talk about the challenges. And if you apply the 80-20 rule, 20% of it's the challenges. And I wish I could stay awake. I really do. But 80% of it was glorious. I mean, we had nights where you're digging deep. And again, you're just singing. You're sharing stories. You're talking about your adventures. You're getting to know people like you can't believe. That's what Raam is. That's what ultra racing is. Ultra racing doesn't give you that opportunity with that crew all the time. But I can tell you, Adam's in the crowd, and Casey and I and Adam, we've done NOCOM. We've had some good times. Very similar type times. So why do you do it? That's a pretty good fringe benefit. That's a pretty good fringe benefit. It's very, very powerful. So what's the right word for Raam? Well, we couldn't come up with. I'm just telling you it's powerful. I'm telling you it's powerful beyond means. And it's not about yourself. That's the thing that will blow you away. It is so powerful, and it has hardly anything to do with you.